Dude, when are we going to meet in person again?
You tell me. I thought you were going to be here in Chicago with me.
I know.
It's all I've ever wanted. My dog's excited to me. It's a whole thing.
I got dog treats all over the place.
She's ready for you. She's ready for you. Okay, at the very end, I've got to bring this over.
Date.
I'm down. My dog's right here. Whenever the interview's over, I'm going to bring this camera over and let you meet her.
Oh, good.
Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Seriously, so good to see you. Congratulations on this. And can I give you an early congratulations on the Oscar nomination that's going to come? That's inevitable. Is it weird? Is it weird? Is that a weird thing to say? Like early? I don't know what the rules are.
Do you think you might have just jinxed it?
I swear no, there's no way. No way. Good to see you. I'm going to jump into this. One of the things I truly do love about this group of women is that they're all so unique. They're all equally badass in their own right, and they all bring sort of their own personal skill set to the group. You've played so many interesting characters in your career. If you could add one of your past characters to this group, which one do you think would have the most fun or would maybe fit in the best?
Well, definitely Maya from Zero Dark 30. I mean, she'd be amazing in the 355 for sure. She would kind of be. She'd be ruthless, but also a lot of fun. I mean, I know the woman that Maya is based off of, and actually that's the one thing we didn't really get into in Zero Dark 30. Maya knows how to have a good time.
Really? So I was saying, I would have thought, I was just about to say, I thought she'd be like more like subdued, but that's not the case.
That's what you would think, and that's how she is on first, like when you first meet her, and then all of a sudden, like you're out drinking or having, she knows how to party.
I want to see that. I want to see that deleted scene. That's we got to get Catherine back for that. Speaking of all the unique skill sets that these characters have, I know throughout your career, because you've played so many different roles, that you've had to learn how to do different things and master different skills. And I know you don't just forget something because a movie's over. So what is the coolest thing that you can now do in your life that you had to learn because your character needed to know how to do it?
I mean, I don't know if I'm ever going to do it again, but definitely jumping off that building was really scary. Jumping off, I was so high up. They weren't even going to have me do it. They were going to have the stunt person do it. And then I thought, this whole thing was my idea. I can't just not try it. And in some sense, it's a leap of faith because yes, you're wearing a harness, but you don't know that it's going to catch you because you can't practice it in a safe way. You just have to do it. And literally every time I hit the side of that container, it really knocked the wind out of me. I'm surprised I didn't hurt my ribs permanently. But yeah, I think if anything, I guess it's that leap of faith. And that really is a metaphor for the whole movie. I mean, I don't know that a film has been made like this, where all the actresses are the owners of it. We all raised the money and we just put the movie together ourselves. So the whole thing was a leap of faith.
I love that. I've got 1,000 more questions for you. They're just about to give me the wrap. So I'm going to bring you over and introduce you to my pup real quick.
Oh, Jake.
So this is my home. I know you've known me for a long time.
You have a lot of books.
Yeah.
That's fancy. Hi, puppy.
That's my girl. And so I'm here in Chicago. So if you ever come visit, you're welcome.
You have a very fancy apartment.
Well, I've gotten to interview you many times, so it's worked out well for me. So seriously, I miss you and I love you and I hope you and your family are doing well.
I love you. When this is over, I'm going to give you a big hug.
I'm very excited for that. So hopefully we'll talk soon. And I'm going to go ahead and say it again. Congratulations on the Oscar nomination because it's happening.
Okay.
I know it's weird to say.
Thanks for saying that. And I don't know, but thank you.
All right. We'll talk soon. Have a wonderful day.
Okay. Bye,
Cruz. Good to see you again. How are you?
Good. Nice to see you.
I'm going to jump into this. Congratulations on this. One of the things that I love about this group of women is that they're all so unique. They're all equally badass in their own right, and they all bring sort of their own personal skill set to the group. You have played so many interesting characters in your career. If you could add one of your past characters to this group, which one do you think would have the most fun or would fit in the best with this group of women?
Maybe the character that I just played with Pedro Almodovar in Parallel Mothers, because she has to become such an incredible liar in life, and that would be a skill that maybe could also be used to trick some people in this mission.
I know that's not the film we're here to talk about today, but can I just tell you how incredible your performance in that film is? You are awe-inspiring in that.
Thank you so much.
It's a beautiful performance. And yes, I absolutely would love to see her in this group. That would be incredible. Speaking of those unique skill sets that these characters have, I know throughout your career, because you have played so many different roles, that you've had to learn how to do different things and master different skills. And I know you don't just forget something just because a movie is over. Is there anything that you can still do, a cool skill that you have picked up over your career that you had to learn for a film?
I had to learn how to ride horses, for all the pretty horses, and I had to train for like 3 months. So I had to learn bareback, and I had to learn how to ride a huge stallion at night in the forest. I had to learn also to ride a camel for another film. Wow. I had to learn to sing for 9. I mean, this is something that I love, from this profession, that sometimes you have the opportunity you are obliged to book that time to learn a skill that maybe you would never, in your life, or the fact that I can make movies in 4 languages, that the movies have pushed me, forced me to do that, to take all those lessons, and then you can use that also in your life. So I is one of the reasons why I love this so much.
I feel like that's a great counter product of being an actor, is that you get to play interesting people, and a result of that is that you yourself become a more interesting person, because now you have all these skills that you otherwise wouldn't have had.
Well, because I consider myself a student of life. As an actress, I learn by observing other people's behaviors, the beauty of the complication of human behavior, which is such a mystery. And that's why you never get to a place where you feel you have things under control. Now you know everything you need to know about acting. That will never happen. It's always the beginning. I'm always a student. I feel like any actor or actress that you talk to would identify with that. And when I'm 90, I could be telling you the same thing. I will still feel new and terrified when I'm beginning a new character.
I love that. And that's why you're still turning out the incredible performances that you are. As we wrap up, so much of Espionage is an ability to be someone else, to blend into worlds where maybe you don't belong. And I'm sort of curious if there is any similarity between the world of Espionage and acting. Like if you were called upon to be a spy, how far would your acting skills get you before someone figured it out?
I think it is very important to have that skill if you're a spy. Graciela is not trained in those terms, the same way she's not trained with guns or doesn't know how to fight and has zero interest to learn. I love that the character has an arc where you see that slowly she's starting to develop an interest for that world. And maybe if there is a second movie, she will want to travel with them and be involved in a mission. But for sure, they all have to be acting. They all have to be hiding things. They all have to be pretending to be somebody else to get information from other people.
I love that. Ms. Cruz, seriously, it is always an absolute honor speaking with you. Congratulations on everything. And seriously, Parallel Mothers, just masterpiece. So seriously,
thank you so much.
Such a pleasure. Thank you for your time. I appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
Diane, good to see you again. How are you?
Good. How are you? Happy New Year.
So well. Happy New Year to you. Seriously, thank you so much for taking the time to do this. I really appreciate it.
Of course.
I'm going to jump into this. One of the things I love about this group is that all of the women, they're so unique and they're all equally badass in their own right, and they bring their own personal skill set to the group. And you have played so many interesting characters in your career. If you could add one of your past characters to this group, which one do you think would have the most fun or maybe would fit in the best?
Oh, wow. I feel like maybe Bridget von Hammersmark, herself being a spy, she would bring a lot of joy to this group because she did have a sense of humor and, she helped kill Hitler. So
I mean, that's got to go at the top of the resume. Like if that doesn't get you a spot in the 355, like I don't know what else. And also like she kept her cool under pressure, like in the basement during the card scene. Right. Which is one of the all-time great scenes, I have to ask that. Yeah. Speaking of unique skill sets that these characters have, I know throughout your career, because you've played so many different roles, that you've had to sort of learn different things and master different skills as an actor. And I'm assuming that you just don't forget them just because a movie's over. So I'm curious, what is the coolest thing that you can still do personally that you had to learn because of a role that you had?
Oh, I wish there was something that I guess I still remember a bit of Russian I had to learn for a movie once. And I'm preparing for a picture where I have to speak Russian. So it felt a little bit easier getting back into that. You know, other than that, I just remember, to be honest, I remember failures. Like I needed to learn to play the piano, Beethoven, in a film about Beethoven. And just, I was so bad at it. And literally to this day, the thought of having to play a piano player or do that gives me anxiety. I trained for months and it didn't happen. So that marked me for life. I felt like a total failure.
That's, oh my God, you couldn't be a failure if you tried. I'm curious, when you have to learn a language for a film, how much do you really need to have a total understanding of like all the rules and everything that go into the language, or do you just need to be able to say certain phrases correctly?
Yeah, certain phrases. I mean, it would be impossible for me to learn proper Russian,
Sure.
you know, in a couple of weeks. So a lot of it is learning it phonetically, but it's not easy because Russian in particular is so out there. Like there's no you know, I speak French, German, and English, so you would think, oh, it's not that hard. But Russian is very different sounds. You know, it's interesting.
That's fascinating. As we wrap up, you know, so much of espionage is an ability to be someone else, to blend into worlds where maybe you don't belong. And I'm curious if there's any through line or a similarity between espionage and acting. Like if you were actually called upon to be a spy, how far would your acting skills get you before someone figured it out?
Maybe for a day or two, but I actually, you know, played a few spies in my career, and in particular, I played a Mossad agent once, and I got to train with the Mossad for a few weeks, which made me realize that how different that job is to being an actor, and what skill sets real life spies have to possess. And it is such a difficult job, and level-headed. They're very specific people. You know, he told me that per year in Israel, I think there's 5,000 people applying to become a Mossad agent, and they take maybe 15. So they're very particular, you know, people. I don't know how to describe it and what it is that sets them apart, but it's a very difficult job to have.
Oh, that is fascinating. I could talk to you all day. You're always such a great interview, and I know you have a lot going on. I hope you and your family are staying safe and being well, and hopefully we're all together again in person soon.
I hope so.
All right, take care. Have a great year.
You too. Bye.
Where we're going, we don't need roads.